But into the S&P, I think we continue to grind up. I told you guys to remember what it was like watching Tesla run up into the robotaxi event, which is everything that the S&P looks like right now. The S&P looks like it is just marching up to the election event. And it looks like a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I do think the market's overbought, and I've been telling you guys this the past few streams. I don't want to sound bearish. In fact, every time I've talked about a crash, it's happened, and I've talked about it well in advance. So, and for those of you guys that are new, I don't just say it and I talk about a crash and eventually I'm right. Uh, I'm 3 for 3. Was the last one? It was a correction. Anyway, called it out, then it happened. And I'm starting to have that the same conversations I'm having now are the same conversations I had in 2019, saying, "Hey, there's going to be a reset switch. Who knows what the excuse is going to be, but the market's going to pull back. They're going to run away with some news. We're going to get a quick little reset." I think everything's up there, and I think it's very hard to really buy anything. There's a lot of bullish stocks uh, that just have not had a real pullback that you can really lean into. And I was going to make a separate video because I saw Tom Lee come out, and even he said he underestimated this, and he thinks there's $6 trillion on the side, and he thinks it's all coming in the market, and the market's just going to continue to rally uh, forever and ever. Whatever he said on that one, a lot of money on the sides, and now everyone has to buy in. And I don't know if he just has his place to get everybody excited and bring that new money in. No one has to buy. Imagine if you had $6 trillion on the side. You could market buy it. But I promise you, if you guys have any real money, you're waiting for the red candles to buy anyway. They're not led by emotion. Retail traders, maybe some small institutions, they are led by FOMO. Anybody that has to answer to somebody, there's a lot of times that they call it window dressing at the end. Like you don't want to call up your firm or have to make a call to a client and say, no, we're not in NVIDIA. And yet all they're hearing about is this meteoric rise NVIDIA has had over the years. So they've never really exited those positions, and they don't really need to just load up more at all-time highs either. You're going to look silly. Um, so I don't know if I'm really on board that as far as what Tom Lee says. Sure, I'm sure there is money on the side, but everything about this market right now looks like it's just up, and the excuse is right around the corner. So I would continue to trade this. I think you're on borrowed time, walking on eggshells, or you're playing a game of hot potato, and it is a nice shade of red. Which how much do you want in your hands when that thing blows up? Is kind of what I'm thinking. Uh, this is where I think a lot of the conversations bleed together. Are you an investor or a trader? Because right now, as an investor, you're probably still buying, but it's a lot less. You really want to go heavy when things pull back. As a trader, you can trade this trend, and it's probably better to just wait for the red candle. And I say this a lot: wait till the red candle is followed by another red candle, at least, because so far everything has just been bought up, and this market has embarrassed a lot of the bears. Uh, and not that there's perma bears out there, but there's people that are kind of rightfully so, like, hey, we're a little bit up there. Maybe I'm going to go short this, and they just shrugged that off and laughed. So for now, as we do these streams and I talk about being bearish, just know that I have to continue to play this trend, but that is on my mind, front and center. Uh, One, do we make it to the elections? I think so. I don't think they're going to just unravel the markets right before elections. No one's going out to vote then. Uh, is it the day after? Probably not. So we'll kind of see. I don't want to sound bearish. I don't want to talk bearish, and then I tell you guys how much I made on my SPY calls. Because if we get the tiny red candles, you have to buy the dip for now. I'd rather take a small L going long SPY when it really does turn than just be short getting chopped up the whole way up. And right now, that's what an ascending triangle looks like. No, it's not really ascending wedge, man. This is what I think a lot of people were talking about on Tesla. So just to make this simple for like the newbies, I just call this hammer on glass. This is your hammer. This horizontal plane is the pane of glass. Now you're gonna get to this point, and you're gonna find out right here what that hammer's made out of. Is that bulletproof glass? Is the glass made, or is the hammer just made out of graphite? More often than not, it is the horizontal line that breaks. So this would break to the upside. just something to keep an eye on. So everything about the S&P looks like it's just going to rock and roll. As far as the open goes, we actually had a gap up. No, not on the SPY, on the futures. A little bit of a gap up and kind of push. Uh, Everything about this just looks like we'll be at all-time highs tomorrow. As far as the NASDAQ goes, a little bit of a gap up there. Just struggling to get above this zone. I bet earnings will lead it in there. I will say, as earnings start to report, outside of everything I just said about Tesla, I think earnings for now, bullish. You guys know I was bullish. Let's take a break real quick from the futures, go to Netflix. So I bought Netflix. Told you guys this. And instead of it just being an earnings gamble with calls, I bought shares. My stop is right below this at 752.45, and I'm just going to continue to trail it. There is someone in the comments that said Netflix is going to dump today. Hopefully it does if you're short this thing, because my stop's in the green. So we can both make money. I don't know why you would think Netflix was going to dump, but I didn't really have a bearish case. But I kind of expect a few more earnings to look the same way. In fact, if we sell off into earnings as far as Meta goes, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, if they sell off into earnings, I'm going to probably buy every one of those and go long. At the same time, I expect the Magnificent Seven, the tech stocks, to kind of do this, and that's going to put the market just that much further. And if they all just kind of agree, in reality, we'll probably have Microsoft up, Google down. We'll have a mix, and the market will just kind of chop around. If for some reason they were all to just agree and they're all green, at that point, I would front run the risk and I would buy puts on the market. But right now, that's what it would take for me to short the Nasdaq just outright, and I would probably buy some March puts on QQQ. If I didn't do that, I'd probably want to grab a little bit of SQQQ, knowing I'm going to add on later. But I think we're probably getting ahead of ourselves with that one. As far as the Russell goes, probably wouldn't worry about shorting it until it got to that bright yellow zone. Looking at the financials, which will lead that. We're up there. Yeah, there's probably nothing to really zone out. So we gapped up, found some sellers right here. So for now, we have one candle worth of price action. I'm going to keep my eye. I'm going to make that blue because it's not really a full-blown zone. We'll keep that there for now. So if it were to pull back, hang out, kind of make this, someone's going to call it a golf club. Let's say the financials did this. Bear flag or reversal. They look the same, just depending on the camp and the echo chamber you sit in. We'll see. But if it does that, I would buy the dip. I think that would end up being your reversal and be your higher low for now.